There we go.
All right, I guess we'll start now. Hey guys, we're gonna start the meeting here. So thank you for making it out. We got a lot of new faces here, which is really nice to see. We had one last Friday, so if you were here for the Friday one, it's going to be the exact same thing basically. But if you got questions, you can stick around and ask, like, after we're done. So basically, this GBM is going to be just talking about like what the teams do, and we have a lot of the captains here that can actually talk about the project themselves. So you can actually ask them questions, and just to get an idea of like what you're interested in, if you're interested in joining in a specific team, right? But yeah, so let's just start off with our schedule. So this is the one for this week, right here, GBM, and right after we actually have the very first air meeting. So if you're interested in Team Air, you can just stick around and go to their first meeting and see like what it's like, right? I'm sure they have a plan of like what to talk about.
Yeah.
So tomorrow there's actually going to be a SolidWorks workshop. If you have questions on that, Matt's right here. He's going to be leading that workshop. Then we got Roll, and then Stella later this week. So Ernie, you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Stella?
Sweet. So I'm Ernie, required. So I'm the team captain of Stella. So our goals for the semester is to just complete Stella, finish testing all the components, get it fully assembled, and test how it holds up against while driving. And October 15th, we have an NIU showcase where we're going to show off Stella, just show off what it can do. And we're just going to show off the improvements we made this semester.
Sweet. Cool. I forgot to introduce all the captains and like officers here. So we got Mary over there, she's the secretary. Ernie, he's the Stella captain as you saw. Adam over here is one of the air captains. Kalyan is the other air captain right there. We got Lucas. So Hill is not here, but he's the vice president, and then I'm the president of this group.
And Rebecca?
Oh, Rebecca, yeah, Rebecca Roll, sorry, I remember. So now with Team Air, you guys want to talk about Team Air for a bit?
Yeah. So for Team Air, it's going to be the same.
You want to stand over here?
Doesn't matter. Okay, for Team Air, it's going to be the same competition as with Ernie or Team Stella. We're going to have go to NIU and we're going to basically showcase our drone, show them what it does, like flies and sorting chamber, all that. And for the main goal of our team is like to try and join this SWAS competition, which is basically like a UAE kind of competition. We go to Maryland and we try to. It's mainly an autonomous drone competition where we have to do 3 separate tasks. One is to drop basically like a drone delivery system. The other one is for the drone to fly on its own as high as possible and for as long as possible, stuff like that. And yeah, that's the main thing.
Come to our meeting after.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
What kind of what kind of work is going to be done? Is there going to be a lot of computer science work?
Yeah, okay, we're going to kind of split up into 2 teams. We're going to have software and then mechanical. So if you're CS, we'll work on with the Raspberry Pi, we use whatever operating system that is, it's Linux. And then Python scripting mostly to control like motors, servos, stuff like that. And then eventually we're going to get into autonomous stuff using NVIDIA Jetson, which is kind of basically like a beefed up Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, and for the mechanical side, we're just going to be working mainly with SolidWorks, trying to 3D model all the parts. Most of the drone already is 3D printed, so I'll show you how to do that. And if you want to join, Matt's going to do the SolidWorks thing tomorrow, so you guys got that.
And then, just to be clear, if you're CS, you don't have to be in the software side. You can choose whatever you want, right?
You can even do both. You can do either or. You can do partially CS, partially solid or mechanical. It's up to you, really. Whatever you feel like.
Or electrical. Some people really like
Well,
soldering and electrical stuff.
No, I'm doing electrical. I want to solder. I want to solder.
You can do all the electrical.
Okay, so that's Team Air. So if you have questions, they'll be around after. Now we got Robrawl. Would you like to talk about Robrawl?
So Robobrawl is basically BattleBots. Our competition is at Organic Campaign in the spring. So earlier this year we went to competition and our robot got completely destroyed. So for this semester I'm hoping to redesign mostly we just machine the parts and assemble them. So it's a lot of mechanical work, not really much work for CS. We don't really do programming.
Cool. But I mean, if someone has an idea to incorporate programming, I mean, they're probably welcome, right?
Yeah, we're always open to things.
Sweet. Cool. So that's Robobot right there, and the robot is called Team Devastating Wind. It's pretty cool. So then we got SumoBots. That one is something I'm going to be helping with the organization of. Also, Matt is going to be helping as much as he can. We're not like captains per se, but we're just like figuring out like how to organize everything and like plan out all the logistics. And we're actually actively looking for junior or senior members that would be interested in like a leadership position to be a captain. So if you have like some sort of like technical skill, like whether it's CS, mechanical, electrical, like anything really, feel free to reach out to us and we can talk about like a potential leadership position. And it looks really good on resumes, you know, and you kind of get a chance to like lead a group. So it's a really good experience. So also talking about like captains in general, I guess. If you guys are, you know, members right now, like in the future, we're all going to graduate at some point, all the senior members. So there's going to be openings in the future for like captains and stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, it's definitely possible in the future to lead a team. So and for that, you kind of just have to stick around and be really involved with EDT in general. So I would definitely recommend, you know, if you guys are interested in that, to be super involved. But for SumoBots, we're going to be collaborating with IEEE. They're another student org who was already planning on soon doing something like pretty similar to this. So tomorrow we're actually going to have a meeting with them, with their officers, and kind of talk about how we can like collaborate with this and like kind of just plan everything together. And essentially what SumoBots is, it's like sumo wrestling but with robots. It's going to be on a smaller scale. So what the plan is we're going to have like a cap of a certain amount of robots we can build. Let's just say like hypothetically maybe like 10 to 15 robots, right? So if we have more than 15 people, we're just going to pair up with different, you know, people will pair up in groups to work on a specific robot to compete. And it'll be like a tournament type of thing. So you're going to be working with Raspberry Pis, 3D printing, and if you don't have any of those like skills, it's okay because that's why like all of the other, you know, knowledgeable members are there for. So I'm CS, so I can help you with like programming. If Matt's still around, he can help you with like 3D modeling and all that stuff. So that's really nice. As far as the stuff that we need to do for SumoBots right now, we got to create a rulebook and like a spec for our robot class. It's not going to be something super heavy like RoboBrawl. I think theirs is like what, 30 pounds, literally? 30 pounds. That's a little bit much for what we're trying to do for SumoBots. So we're probably going to keep it like 2 pounds or something like something small. We want to hold the competition every semester, but because we're just starting to plan all this out, it might have to be that the very first semester is going to be just for like building the robots and more like planning. So we might have a competition in the spring rather than in the fall, just because, you know, we're just starting out. So yeah, I already mentioned about the leadership stuff. So if you're interested, contact us. Our info is on the website, so you can just scroll down and see where our stuff is. If you guys are not in the Discord, you can definitely join. Yeah, we have a Facebook, surprisingly. I didn't even know we had it until recently. The website is really useful. That's how you find out about all of our events and stuff. This is going to be more active. So there's another org that does marketing that's helping us with this. So we're going to have an active Instagram if you guys want to follow us. And then Discord, I already talked about that. So yeah, that's it. Any questions you guys may have about like joining teams? Yeah.
Are you guys doing the robotic mind competition this year?
No, yeah, that's actually not up to date. But we're not going to do that this year just because they changed it to be like virtual only, right? And we're not
Yeah, so we did it last year. We competed over the summer and we did pretty well. This year we didn't really have, pretty much everyone that was on that team that was experienced is either graduating this semester or already graduated. So, but like Chris was saying, they did move the competition online for this year, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, so in future years, it's definitely a possibility if there's more interest. It's a more serious competition. There's a lot more dedication. So, but yeah, we change competitions every year. So the SumoBots, that's totally new. We try to also reach out and find different competitions that other people are holding.
And if you're ever interested in becoming a captain in future years, say for example next year, right? The notion of all these competitions switching out from time to time, come to us with an idea. We can help you organize something and see how that might be prepared for next year. Of course, this is just the start of the academic year, but just an idea to throw around if you guys are at all curious. So.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened with SumoBots. Like it's something that we talked about like a long time ago. We're like, wow, that'd be really cool to do. So we were like, let's just try it out. So if you have an idea that's really cool, or you like know of a competition that you've like always wanted to try, as like some collegiate thing, stick around. Be a member and throw your ideas out there. Because at the end of the year, we're probably going to be searching for something. Because competitions like we stopped going to certain ones, just like like the RMC thing. So yeah, definitely stick around.
Just another note about officers. So we have captain and officer positions every year. Captains are just kind of by appointment, basically, based on your interests. You talk to the current officers and see how to organize that. But we do have officer positions as well. Those switch out every year, and we do elections in May. So they're all elected positions. We have at least 4 every year, and that's definitely more heavy on the management side. But again, if you're interested in more leadership than the hands-on, well, you're still doing hands-on stuff, but you're kind of more split. So.
Yeah. So like for example, Team Air, like the reason Team Air captains are captains this year is because they were super involved in Team Air last year, right? So they were just some people that stood out. So if you're interested in that in the future, you want to make sure to be super involved in whatever team you're in, and really put that effort in. So, but there's always openings. So we have 2 captains per team. And we can have 1 captain, but ideally we have a captain and co-captain. Any other questions? Cool. I guess we'll end the meeting, and then if you guys want to stick around, actually I can give you guys like a tour of like the shop we have here. Like in the back we have a 3D printer. We have 2 3D printers actually. It's just that one of them sucks, so we rarely use it. We have, like the tables here is basically, each table is for like 1 team. So like in the back right there, we got the Stella. Right here, we got Air over there. You can see the drone over there. In the very back, which you probably guys saw from like the involvement fair, that's the RMC robot, which is not going on this year. But we have a lot of tools. And what I was telling people on Friday is that like, if you're a member of EDT and you have like a personal project you're working on, you're welcome to use our tools, as long as you put them back like where you found them, and we want to keep this place as clean as possible, just because we have like electronics everywhere, and like once the year progresses and it gets closer to like competition time, this thing becomes a mess. Like there's just stuff everywhere, so we want to keep it as like neat as possible. So you're welcome to use our tools as long as you just put it back and not really make a mess. I mean, you can make a mess, but just, as long as it gets cleared up afterwards, it's fine. But yeah. So that's we don't have too much space here, but we have a lot of tools to work with. So that's the nice thing about this shop. And then we got the makerspace upstairs. So they have like laser cutting, more 3D printers. Maybe Mary, you can give us a quick little spiel of like what you guys have over there.
We do like basic manufacturing, like 3D printing, like PLA or ABS, things like that. And then we also have the laser cutter, so we cut acrylic, wood. Down here we have the machine shop, which is like any metalworking or woodworking.
Cool. Sweet, thank you. One last thing, I almost forgot this. We have workshops, as you saw from the schedule. If you have the SolidWorks related questions, you can ask Matt like after the meeting. And if you have like programming questions, you can ask me, because I will be leading the programming workshop. So can you guys raise your hands if you guys were interested in like any of the workshops? Okay, we got a few people here. Okay, cool.
So for the SolidWorks one tomorrow, it's from, I don't know if you can see that on there, it's from 3 to 5. It's either going to be down here or upstairs in 294. So you need a laptop, and preferably if you can come with SolidWorks already installed, because it takes a few hours. But yeah, 3 to 5, if you're interested, stop by.
And SolidWorks is free for all of UIC students, so you just kind of like look it up right on the
Yeah, there's the UIC web store, you can get all the stuff for free.
We can show them.
maybe after.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have questions about the programming workshops, I'm still planning it, so I don't have too much info, but you don't need anything installed. We're gonna do everything there. The very first one is gonna be like just like from scratch, like from the very beginning. So if you have some experience in programming already, maybe don't show up to the first one. It'll mostly be like setup and like basic programming stuff. But if you know, if you are a complete beginner, definitely show up because it's gonna be like the foundation. As far as languages go, I want to do Arduino stuff, which is basically like C++. They have their own language, but it's the same thing as C++. So you're going to be learning C++, Python, and those are the only two big ones that we use in AET, honestly. Like I don't think that we've ever, from what I've seen, we haven't used anything besides Python and C++. Yeah. So those are the main things I'm going to be teaching at the workshops, and I think we're going to start off with maybe like Python, I want to say, and then do some Arduino stuff later on with the C++ stuff. But yeah, you don't need anything, and I'm gonna make an announcement for all the programming stuff. So like, if you're kind of lost right now, don't worry, I'm gonna send more info out soon. So yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions, that concludes the meeting. You guys are free to go if you or if you want to stick around. We'll be around here for a little bit to answer any questions. I know like last meeting, a lot of people were asking me like, oh, like what team do you think I should join? And it's really up to you. Like you can read the description on the website and see like what team was interesting to you. But if you have any specific questions, for sure, like you can come to us and we'll give you at least some direction on what to do. So yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for coming. Cool.
Do you want